everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. I'm your host, John. With me, traversing these barren wastelands, is Michael.
Hey, hi, let's waste the land. Let's get wasted.
And Ryan.
Michael, I'm going to have to stop you right there. There is no getting wasted on this podcast, unless, of course, it's one of the episode 69s. Then, all bets are off. But
let's have a special episode where we get wasted.
This is a straight-edge podcast. I will not stand for this.
Let's have an episode where we just drink large amounts of alcohol.
Is there a number that corresponds to alcohol? Like 420 is for weed?
You could do...
I thought you meant just how many beers means drunk or something. What do you mean a number?
Well, I mean, just something that corresponds to alcohol.
You could do 8339, it would kind of look like a beer, but that'd be episode 8339, so that probably wouldn't be the best idea.
We'll hit that in never.
Hold on, let's do the math. If we put out one podcast per week,
a week
for that'd be roughly, let's say, 50 episodes a year, just in case.
Yeah. So
then that'd be 100. In 2 years you'd do 100, and you'd have to get that 100 times 80. So in what is that? Yeah, 80 or 160 years from now, I think, if I'm doing the math correctly. So it'll be a while.
Let's keep it going. 160 years of Video Game Choo Choo.
Sure. Oh, yes. Yeah.
The third or fourth generation of Chooch.
Yeah, it'll be
the drunk podcast.
It'll be the bicentennial celebration, when we're in the year 2177, and they're like, man, remember that website that completely changed the face of video games? This is on June 29th, 2177. That's when we will be celebrated with hollow beer and cyberweed. So
oh fuck yeah, that's when it's gonna finally be legal. Anyway, thank you so much for putting up with our bullshit. I'm glad that we're all here, and you know what, I'll be honest, I hope that Chooch lives to be that long. I hope that there's a continued appreciation of our dumb bullshit into the future. Who knows?
Of our brand.
Maybe, someday someone will dig up an iPhone with our podcast on it, and they'll be like, "This is some classic comedy. This is an old-timey hit." They'll listen to Video Game Choo Choo and respect it as history, like people watch silent movies today.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Man, remember when people still had to use their ears to listen to podcasts?"
Exactly. It'll be fucked up, but it'll make you think. But as for today, I thank everyone listening today in the present day, and I would appreciate it if you continue to listen, because that would be nice. So let's move on to actually talking about video games. Ryan, how about we start with you this week?
Yeah, I'd love to, kick it off. I've been pretty busy with games, actually. When was the last time I was on? Not last week, but maybe the week before that.
The week before, yes.
Yeah. A lot has happened since then, actually. I don't know if I talked about it the last time I was on, but I beat the second Danganronpa game. I don't remember if that was last week or the week before that I did that. That's a real banger, as anybody who is familiar with this website is sure to know. I continued on Persona 5. I beat since I fell way behind on that in comparison to everybody else, I beat the third palace in that game. So, making progress, chugging along. And then maybe the most important bit of my gaming for the last couple weeks has been I bought a Nintendo Switch. Yeah, and there's the Switch. You gotta do the
Switch.
The snap. There we go. It's pretty cool. I wasn't entirely sold on it for a while, but then E3 this year with Super Mario Odyssey and Metroid Prime 4 and the Rabbids game kind of won me over on it. and I wasn't really sure when I'd be able to get one. I was hoping, maybe by the time the new Mario game comes out, like in October or whenever that is, I'd have my hands on one. But not too long after E3, pre-orders, or not pre-orders, just regular orders, went up on Best Buy, and I managed to grab one before they sold out in like 5 minutes. So I am now the proud owner of a gray Nintendo Switch. I did not want the red and blue one because the different colors were too distracting to me. But I respect those of you and your commitment to the neon red, the neon blue, the red Nintendo and blue of the Switch. I have a couple games for it. I got it with Zelda, of course, because, of course. And then I went and sold some games, and I bought Puyo Puyo Tetris, and I bought Thumper. And I've played 2 of those games so far. I've been so engrossed in Breath of the Wild that I have not tried Thumper yet, but from everything I hear, that's a fantastic game. So I'm really excited to try that out and maybe talk about that with y'all next week on the podcast. Puyo Puyo Tetris, I'm sure we've discussed that on here before. It's a great little puzzle game. It's even better when you're playing it competitively. Well, not competitively, but online multiplayer with a friend or something like that.
Oh, it's competitive.
Yeah. I played with a couple people from the Chooch Discord channel, and it was intense. It was surprisingly intense. Maybe at the end of the episode, I'll pop my friend code up there if any of y'all want to try to beat me when I assassinate you with my Tetraminos, or Tetraminos, I guess, as they're called. But that's my one problem. I'm really good at Tetris in that game, but I'm pretty awful at Puyo Puyo. I still haven't quite gotten the hang of it yet. What really kind of messes me up is that it doesn't have the hard drop like Tetris does, and if there's an option for it, I haven't been able to figure out how to set that. If any of y'all don't know what I'm referring to, it's in Tetris, so you can hit up on the D-pad and the Tetramino drops like directly into place without scrolling down the screen. Puyo Puyo doesn't have that, and so it feels really slow to me, but it is like a pretty different game, and I think I need to stop trying to play it like it's Tetris and play it like it's Puyo Puyo and kind of, recalibrate my strategy for all that, because I'm still getting used to it. And then, like I said, the other game, kind of the last game I've been playing this week, has been Breath of the Wild. I know both of y'all have played it or have been playing it. I don't know if you've finished it or not, either of you.
Not even close.
Yeah.
I've beaten all of the I've beaten all the beasts. I haven't, like, all I have to do is like basically fight Ganon. So
yeah, I gotcha. I'm right after you get to the Zora domain, and you have to go and get the shock arrows from the mountain or whatever. I tried that boss fight against the Lionel, which is like the sexy buff lion centaur man or whatever. I tried it like about 7 different times, and I died on all of them.
It's not It's not a boss fight, though.
It's not a boss fight. That's the thing.
You're supposed to sneak past him.
Are you really?
Yeah. You can if you want to. You can also fight it.
It tells you can fight it, but it tells you, like, they say it before you go up there, like, hey, you should probably sneak past that dude.
Oh, I don't remember any of that. What I remember is, like, Prince Sidon coming up and being like, hey, I'm going to help you with the Lionel, and then he's, like, nowhere up there when you get there, and it's like, okay, well... But that's interesting. Maybe I should try that instead, because I engaged him in hand-to-hand combat 7 times, and one of them I got him down to about 400 HP, and then just got annihilated. So
yeah, you if you go to the right as you start, like, you're supposed to hide behind the big rocks, but if you go to the right and kind of keep over there, he tends to stay on the other side, and you'll find enough shock arrows all the way up to, like, when it first shows you, like, hey, you need to go here. It doesn't show you that clearing or that plateau. It shows you something further up. And as you go up there, you'll get the rest of the arrows that you need.
Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah. I did not realize that. But I kind of pulled out of there because I have like 5 heart containers in that right now, and if you get hit by that blade once, you're down to like a quarter of a heart, which is pretty miserable. And I'm not really coordinated enough to be good at like the backflips and the parries and shit like that. So it's hard for me to like consistently do damage on like a kind of mini boss character like that. But anyway, I went off and did more stuff. I'm kind of looking around at shrines. I did that really cool bit where you go up to the top of the mountain and there's the like corrupted dragon that you have to shoot the eyeballs off of. I don't know if y'all have done that yet or not, but
that one I found. That's part of the reason I like that game so much. Is there is all this structure to it that you can kind of tackle however you want, but then there's all this stuff that no one kind of talked about when the game came out. And that's not the only one of those things. No, I've seen other versions of that thing just flying around, and then here's that one that, like you said, was like covered in muck or those eyeballs. And there's a lot of other little stuff in that world that even though I've been everywhere, I've revealed all the map. And I've taken down 2 of the beasts. There's still like little spots where it's like, I don't know what that is. That's a maze. Yeah. I can literally see it on the map that's a maze. I don't know what that is. So
I kind of like a similar thing in regards to that, because when a game like Zelda gives me a climbing mechanic, like, I'm gonna climb up to the highest point of like every mountain I can get my hands on, and that's been like 90% of my gameplay experience so far, just basically making it to the top of whatever mountain I can get to. And that's how I kind of found that whole dragon thing. Like, I was just scaling, this huge thing, and it's like, oh, there's a serpent up here, and I've got to, shoot arrows at it. And that's what I like about that game, is how it not explicitly, but kind of implicitly encourages you to explore as much as possible. Because even when there's not a dragon on a mountain, there's like a Korok seed, or I am pronouncing that right, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. There's you can find the seeds, or you can paraglide off the mountain and find like another shrine and stuff like that. And it's really interesting to me seeing kind of how well all the exploration mechanics tie into this game, and how it really lets you make the most out of giving you the ability to, fly places and climb places and that kind of stuff. And I think I had been talking about it maybe on the podcast or maybe with somebody else, how I had tried to play Ocarina of Time a while ago and I just couldn't really get into it, and etc., etc. But Breath of the Wild, as I've heard and I agree with, is definitely a very good game for anybody who's wanted to get into Zelda but hasn't really had the opportunity to, I suppose. It really goes out of its way to kind of let people who are more familiar with modern fantasy RPG mechanics like get into the game. Like, it's very much like a modern fantasy RPG kind of game, and that's what I like about it. I like that it's what I liked about it when I saw it last year at E3 too. It's that Nintendo took this franchise that people like me maybe didn't have like the highest opinion on, or maybe weren't super familiar with, and made it something that people unfamiliar with would be interested in. And I think it really works well. And between that and Persona 5, I'm going to be doing at the end of the year what everyone else was doing back in March, trying to finish both those games at the same time. Or not even at the end of the year, like halfway through the year. Jeez, I'm way off, but
it feels like the year is already over.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's a bit much. There's been too many games this year. We need to scale it back a bit, tone it down.
Yeah.
No.
It's
Give me
been
more.
I mean,
Give
listen.
Me more.
Listen, it's
more.
been a Michael, it's been a fantastic year for video games. I cannot play all of them. I cannot be expected to play all of them, and I cannot even finish the ones that I already own.
More.
So I need to be there to be like twice as many days in the rest of the year.
So I have as many games.
No, bad.
Yes.
Bad.
More games.
Bad.
More games.
Bad.
More.
So Ryan, I do have a question. Something that kind of struck me as I was playing through Breath of the Wild was that how do you like the combat because I've gotten through the 4 beasts.
Yeah.
I don't like the combat at all.
Really?
And I feel like the strength of Breath of the Wild. Like I think Breath of the Wild's fantastic. Do not get me wrong.
Sure.
But I think the exploration is amazing. I think all the different abilities that you can use to traverse the world, all the different ways that you can interact with the environment, that's all amazing. The shrines are just as incredible because you can use all of your abilities to tackle the shrine however you can figure it out. There are so many different ways to solve everything.
Yeah.
With combat, it's so just bland and you're just knocking things over.
Has Zelda combat been intricate before?
See, no, but at the same time, well, here's the thing. It's like I don't know. It's like everything else in that game is such a shining gem, and then it's just wah, with the combat, and then with the weapons breaking and all that, it's like combat doesn't feel like you're getting anything out of combat except for a bunch of broken weapons. When everything else in that game, there's a reason behind it. It's either your own survival or you're doing something, or you're getting a new item, or you're solving a puzzle. And when it's combat outside, I'm specifically talking about combat that's just out in the field.
Yeah.
Because there are I think the boss fights are okay, because also a lot of the boss fights are puzzles in and of themselves. So
sure,
that's interesting. It's just why in the world would you ever actually fight a group of bokoblins?
But that's
unless there was a treasure chest,
That's not the reason for the game. The game isn't run around and kill everything. The game is run around, find the shrines, get to the beasts, solve little quests, explore. So the crux of the game doesn't need to be on the combat. And then the combat is a little deeper. It does have, like Ryan said, parrying and all this other stuff that you can do. It's just, most of the time you don't, I just put my fucking shield up, block something, and then run and fucking shank a dude, and I'm done.
Yeah, I see what John is saying as the combat being, sort of underwhelming, or even an afterthought compared to the exploration. And I feel there's a hint of that point in what you're saying too, Michael, and that the combat is not really the point of that game. I don't have any problem with it. I don't think it's fantastic. I think it's a step forward, if you want to use that kind of term. Like I said, this is very much more of a modern fantasy RPG in terms of its mechanics and its gameplay, I think. So, in comparison to some other games, it might not be anything to write home about, but I think it works well in the context of the game that this is not necessarily something that you're meant to focus on. It's just one part of the larger puzzle, I suppose. And I like the complexity of the combat. I know everyone's going to take a shit on me for saying this, but it does remind me of Dark Souls, the combat in this game.
Totally.
Having to put your shield up and strafe around people and parry to attack and stuff like that. It's very not always, but every now and then it can be very defensive and methodical if you're not if you're not just rushing in and stabbing people, which you can do, but it might not always turn out the best. And so I like those games, so I think the combat is fine. I see your point though. It's definitely one of the more, I wouldn't say underwhelming, but one of the less fantastic of that game's various pieces, I suppose.
Sure.
And
okay.
It's certainly not so egregious that it's pulling me out of the experience. I haven't, until you mentioned it, I didn't really even register that I had an opinion on it, because when I play that game, I see a chest and it's God, I have to get at that chest, here I come. Or I'll see the bokoblins running around and the horses, and it's hell yeah, I'm gonna knock this dude off with an arrow. That's cool as hell. But I think it just depends. I think it depends on what you're looking to get out of the game, and for me, it's perfectly fine. So, yeah,
I just kind of wanted to get your opinion on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, of course. The one kind of quote unquote boss fight I've done is like the big rock monster like outside the where the ancient technology research lab is. Like you go out in like a field and like this big like rock golem comes up, and that was kind of cool because you have to like climb up it to get at its head and like hit it with the sword, and that's really neat. Like you said, like the boss fights and the mini bosses are kind of like puzzles in themselves, which is something that surprised me. I didn't expect there to be that much puzzle solving in that game, but
I mean, that's pretty Zelda.
In Zelda.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Previous Zeldas would be much more like, here's a dungeon, solve the puzzles up to the point where it give you the item that is in this dungeon, and then the rest of this dungeon is solved using that item, and then more than likely so is the boss. This one just kind of shuffles it and says, here are all these powers. There's probably a designed way for you to solve, this problem, this boss or this mini boss, but you could probably also just like stab it a lot or hit it with bomb arrows if you have them, or you could probably find another way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it works out great. I'm really looking forward to finishing that game and letting y'all know if I have any other thoughts on it, but right now I mean, you want to say a game lives up to the hype. Like, I don't know, I don't want to get into that kind of territory, but it's definitely as good as I kind of expected it to be. So, good stuff. The Switch was worth the purchase. I'm mostly just looking forward to, August and October when the two Mario games come out. I might get Splatoon 2 next month because that comes out right after my birthday, but we'll see what happens.
Sure. Okay. You play anything else?
Not really. I think what I've mentioned is about it. I've been watching my roommate play the Danganronpa games because as soon as I finished the second one, he went back and finished the first one, and now he's playing through the second one. So I've been having like, quote unquote movie nights watching my roommate play Danganronpa 2 again, which is always fun. But that's been it. Not much else going on in my neck of the woods.
Okay. Michael. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm doing all right. How about you?
Could be better. How are you?
Not bad. It's same old, same old. What about yourself?
My kidneys, they feel like they're gonna explode. But how are you?
My kidneys are intact and not exploding.
Yeah, my kidneys are perfectly dry and not susceptible to gunpowder right now. John, how are you?
I'm fine now. Anyway, Michael,
yeah.
Anything going on?
I was on a plane a lot.
You were?
Yeah, 6 hours of flying in the air.
That's a long time.
It was 3 hours to Denver and 3 hours back. It was, yeah. Whew. Mm-hmm. I used to say to myself and think to myself, like, air travel's not that bad. It's just the time, right? It's just, how do I fill this void of time? Mm-hmm. No, all of it's bad. I was wrong. All of it is bad. Nothing about air travel is nice. It's gotten better, but it's still pretty bad. Like, I went to, I technically went to Denver. I went to Aurora, which is a suburb of Denver, to visit my brother, who's about to move back to Japan, or him and his family are about to move back to Japan because he's in the Navy, and that is what people in the Navy do, is move a lot. So I went to visit him just because it's easier to take a 3-hour trip than a 15-hour trip. And this one didn't require a passport, but airports suck, and airplanes suck, and airlines suck, and nothing about that is enjoyable.
No.
When we went to LA last year, it was actually nice because all I had was a carry-on, so I would walk up, print my boarding pass, and then just go to the plane, and that's nice. This time we had to check some baggages, but that was actually kind of easy. That was actually also pretty expedited. Somehow got into TSA pre-check. So no, like, taking off your shoes. They did it the way you used to do it when I was a kid, where You put all your metal stuff in your bag, put your bag in the machine, and go through a metal detector. That is it. No shoe taking off, no put your hands up and this guy gets to see your dick through the magic of this machine. None of that. Which means you go through security in maybe 30 seconds. There's no line. You just stuff everything in your bag, you shove your bag in a thing, the guy goes, come on. You go through, he looks up to make sure you didn't have metal on you, and then you go through and your bag's there, and you just pick it up and you go. It's fantastic. Except for Tampa International Airport has everything under construction, so there was no food on the side of the airline.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know what they made them decide to do construction on all the restaurants at once, but that's what they decided.
How it is sometimes.
And then we flew Southwest, which was the no frills airline, which was about the same as any other airline, which means uncomfortable, and they give you one thing to drink, even though flying in the air dehydrates you terribly.
Jeez.
But it was fine. Other than surviving that was the hardest part. Going to Denver and getting to see my brother and my nephews and spending some time in Denver was actually a lot of fun. So
cool.
Yeah, it's also very pretty up there. I tweeted it out like an image, but I kind of understand why people would I want to live in the mountains and out west. I get that now. It's very nice out there, and it was very good weather. It wasn't freezing cold, and it wasn't let's say 95 degrees and have terrible humidity and thunderstorms like some places.
Yeah.
So, other than that, it was a lot of fun out there. So. I actually went to an arcade out there.
Do tell.
We have Malibu Grand Prix down here in Florida. I don't know what they're called in other places. This place in Denver was called the Boondocks, and it was a bowling, mini golf, laser tag, go-kart arcade place, like a family fun center kind of place. I assume every other city has one of those somewhere, right?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, and did bowling and laser tag, and then had some fun at the arcade. It's like a typical arcade where it has Cut the Rope and Crossy Road, and I just look at those and just whip out my phone and look up still free on mobile. I don't know why you would spend $1 on this thing. They also had
because it's big.
I guess. Really big Crossy Road, great. They had I didn't get a chance to play it because once I saw it, I couldn't play it at the time, and then when I went back, someone was in it. They had a Luigi's Mansion arcade machine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It was sit down, and you had as a controller of the vacuum, the ghost vacuum. I never knew that existed.
Sounds pretty dope.
It's a Capcom joint.
Really? That's even weirder. Because they had Mario Kart there, which made sense. And they had what else they had? They had Cruisin' World, a bunch of shooting games, like Big Deer Buck Hunter or whatever the hell that thing is. What else they had? They had that Star Wars pod where it's not the full pod. You just sit down. It has a throttle and a joystick, which actually felt like shit because it's on rails. So it flies you where it wants you to go, but you can kind of change where you're aiming, and it feels like the ship is dipping up and down, but it's not. It's just flying you where you need to go. So your ship can be facing to the right and up, but you're flying down. So that was a little disorienting. But it was actually fun to be in an arcade that actually had cool games.
Yeah.
Instead of a Dave & Buster's, which is just sadness. And that was also the first arcade that I won tickets in, and it didn't spit out tickets. The tickets stayed on your card. So you didn't go bring... So, the concept of them even calling it tickets was weird. Of, wait, I won tickets, but it's just digital. So who the
Points, yeah.
Yeah, it's who the hell cares? Why do you still call them tickets? What archaic... Did you just have things that still said 20 tickets on it? You're can't print up more of those, so... That was weird. But they still let you win yo-yos and individual army men. So if you want to do that, there you go.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, but that was a lot of fun.
Fun.
Yeah. So that means I didn't really have a lot a lot of time to play stuff. I played a little bit before I left and a little bit since. Right before I left, it was the Steam Summer Sale. So I was able to grab some stuff off of that. I grabbed Monday Night Combat because it's $1. And everyone else should buy Monday Night Combat so we can all play it. It's only $1. I know I'm telling you right now.
It's just $1?
It should only be $1. It might be $1.99 or it might be 99. I can't remember, but it's cheap.
All right. Well, we'll see.
No, buy it right now.
No, I need to wait until the end of the sale so I can have my fully amassed collection of trading cards.
If you wait till
sell
the end
them
of
all,
the sale, it won't be that price.
I'll use my millions to purchase it once I sell all my cards.
No, go now. Hold on. Yeah, it's 99 cents. I just looked it up. Steam.
My millions, Michael.
Steampowered.com.
My millions.
Go buy it.
My millions.
Go buy it. It's 99 cents. Normally $4.99. It's 80% off.
My millions.
That game's good.
It is good.
Yeah. I never got to the free to play one that much. It added a lot to it, a lot of esports stuff. What else did I play? I played a little Death State, which is like a roguelike, but it automatically fires. So it's a lot of kind of spacing where you're and what items you have and how far you can be away from the enemies, and then trying to find your way to the exit so that you can move on and do it all over again. That game's kind of fun. I played a little Project High Rise, which is a sim tower alike. I guess that game came out. I thought that game was in early access, but they already have DLC out, which I didn't buy. But they have I think it's Vegas DLC, which is kind of interesting. But I love the original sim tower. So Project High Rise is pretty much the same thing. It is 99%, probably like 90% the same thing. They take away some of the complexities of Sim Tower, like you don't have to worry about my elevator shaft can't go over 25 floors. You don't have to worry about that. Or in Sim Tower, you can order your elevators to always go to the bottom floor, or always go to the top floor, or always stay at lobby floor. Like you can kind of give your elevators AI so that they know where to go. So, and I think you could even do it by the time of day. So in the morning, you could have them all at the bottom floor so that all your office workers could come into work. But on the other side of your tower where everyone lives, you could have all your elevators towards the top so all your apartments can leave to go to work. Project High Rise doesn't have any of that, which is kind of a little bit of a bummer, but there's still a lot of interesting stuff, little things that Project High Rise does differently, and it adds on to the Sim Tower like base. So that game's a lot of fun. What else did I play?
That does sound fun.
And the only thing else that comes to mind, other than like more Overwatch, because they added those new maps, and more Persona 5, which I actually don't think I've touched since I got back, was some Fable Fortune.
Are you allowed to talk about this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just making sure. Sometimes we forget.
I can check, but I am 100% sure he said there's no embargo.
Okay.
Yeah, Fable Fortune is in beta. It's a closed beta right now, and it will be going early access next month or August.
Okay.
Soon. Huh? Fable Fortune will probably be the last Fable game for a while. It is based off that Fable franchise. It is a card game in sort of the vein of Hearthstone or Gwent, or whatever the hell the Elder Scrolls one is called. Is that just called the Elder Scrolls card game? It's Legends?
I think so. Elder Scrolls Legends.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least that's an inventive name other than Elder Scrolls the card game, which is what I would have named it. I've only played 2 rounds of it because when I installed it, it was giving me some errors because it is a beta and it's still work in progress. But it's very Hearthstone-y. It looks a lot like the Fable kind of art style, but maybe a little harsher, like a little sharper, like less cartoony. And and it's pretty much Hearthstone. It's a lot of summoning people, and every round you get a little bit more gold. You start with 3 gold, and then the next round you have 4, and the next round you have 5, which is
that sounds like Hearthstone.
Yeah, that is 100% what Hearthstone kind of brought to the table. I'm not 100% sure on some of the mechanics because there is no tutorial. It was I'm just playing trading, so I'm kind of grasping things as I go. There seems to be like a guard mechanic and then a not guard mechanic, where if something is guarding, you have to attack it, and if not, you can attack the other person directly, which is also very Hearthstone-y. And it's not like Magic where you can like defend, which is kind of a bummer. It's a little bit of a bummer that it's so much like Hearthstone. I would like more competition in that space, but not that directly. So maybe I'll keep playing and I'll discover something that really differentiates it. But so far, it's just Hearthstone.
Sure.
They do seem to have. It is a different art style, and it is a different like feel to the game and a different look to the game. You have a few more. I think you have like 2 powers per hero. Like you choose like a hero to be. I chose the Knight deck for the first few times I played, and all he did was summon a 1/1 peasant for cost of 2 gold. And the only other thing that was different was you get quests. So if my first quest was spend 14 gold, which is essentially spend enough cards that cost up to 14. Then once that's completed, I got to choose a good or an evil power. Good would probably like heal me or buff my characters, and evil would hurt my enemy or debuff my enemy. So that was actually kind of neat. That kind of put a little curve on. I don't know what that guy's quest is, so if they complete their quest in time, I could be screwed even though I feel like I'm winning. That could be something that switches a game around. But that didn't really come into play much. I didn't feel like it saved I think I played 3 matches. I don't feel like it saved any matches. I feel like I was already in control. I was like, oh, cool. I get to win even more now.
Yeah.
I killed one of the 2 things that you had blocking me, and now I can just run you over. So I'll keep playing. It seems neat, but it's. I hope that it's going to be coming out in early access, which I find weird. That there's a beta for an early access game. I think that's strange, but
Guess that's just how it is these days.
yeah. So maybe once it comes out in early access, that'll be their base, and then they'll build upon it and maybe add some new stuff. But for now, it's a Hearthstone game. But I guess Hearthstone's kind of waning. It seems like there's less and less talk about Hearthstone. I know they're coming out with they announced their announcement of the expansion for next week, the next one. But
Sorry. They announced their announcement.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I heard that right.
I just talked about a game and a beta that's about to go into early access. So yeah, there's announcements of announcements.
Fair. It's fair.
I feel like a lot of the big names in esports are starting to wane a little bit. Like you don't really hear that much about Hearthstone. They pointed it out on the Bombcast this past week, but like you don't really hear about Dota that much either. You know, like I feel like other games are coming in and are kind of like starting to take a little bit of the thunder.
Muscle in the territory.
Yeah, like so many people are more interested in like Battlegrounds, and like I feel like a lot of the people that were playing Hearthstone are like getting spread out between like Gwent and Elder Scrolls and maybe even this Fable game. Like I feel like, and it's a good thing because it's starting to spread and it's not getting stagnant.
Yeah, there's diversity.
It's really interesting to see, like, you know, and Overwatch too. You know, like Overwatch is definitely taking like a good portion of like the first person shooter crowd. So I'm interested to see how that goes.
I saw somewhere, I didn't read it, but I saw somewhere that Overwatch competition isn't really taking off like they thought it would. I don't know if that's Blizzard's specific league or if that's just in general. But I think it is competition. Like, but I also think it's you don't hear about Dota, but they're gearing up for the international, and their I forget what they call it, their compendium. That thing's still doing pretty well. It's still at least matching previous years, so there's still fervor around it. And then like League of Legends, you never hear about, despite being in like video game journalists or whatever you want to call us. That still exists. It still does really well for whoever owns all of China owns League of Legends now. So I think some of it is that those communities, and this is something that's been happening in a lot of video games, is people form a community around a game, and then as everyone else keeps going on, like, oh, look, this game's out now, some people will split off and peel off, but there's probably still like hardcore DayZ players who look at players unknown battlegrounds and go, maybe, and then maybe they all shifted over there, but like that's been a very big trend in video games in general. So you look at esports and how that's gone from the 3 big games to the dozen games that could be in esports, and then you look at the sort of communities building around individual titles. I think that's what's happening. Is unless you go over and find that space where they all talk about it, whether it's their subreddit or the game's forums or somewhere else, or a combination of those things where they can form communities and form groups. You just kind of look at that like, I don't know who's playing Dota anymore, and someone has to be. So I think that's part of it. Like Counter-Strike's on TV.
Yeah,
Dota's on TV. Like Rainbow Six Siege got on TV. So
some basketball game is on TV. That's
real basketball. That was real basketball. That's called the NBA.
I was at a pizza place, and there was a local channel here hosting a like NBA 2K17 like tournament in like Louisiana or something for like real prize money, and it was on TV. So
I know 2K and the NBA did team up, or some of the teams. I'm not sure how that deal went down, but some of the teams teamed up to form an official NBA 2K esport league for that game.
Yeah.
And then you even look at fighting games. Like, what's the fighting game? There's no like real 100% answer. Like a couple years ago with Street Fighter 4, there were a bunch of pretenders. That was it. Now you could say Street Fighter 5, and you might be right, but that game's not as strong as 4 was.
It's up in the air now. Yeah,
it's like, okay, maybe it's Tekken now. Tekken has
Injustice or Guilty Gear. Yeah,
but that's also great because that means there's direct competition, and
absolutely.
People won't just watch for Street Fighter now. People are now like, oh shit, did you see that Injustice stream? Did you see Tekken? Dude fucking had a pizza on his back. I guess that's an item you can get as a pizza on your back. But yeah, that's all I've been doing.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had a good time on vacation.
I wouldn't call it a vacation, but all right.
Okay. A good time on your trip.
Thank you.
Okay. So as for moi, I haven't been... Yeah, after Persona 5, I kind of wanted to take it easy for a little bit, so I didn't play too much. I was just kind of like messing around with some of the games that I had installed on Steam. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I played like a little tiny bit of New Vegas.
Ooh.
Like a little tiny bit.
Very nice.
I think you mentioned it last week. I don't remember.
Well, I'll mention it again.
Okay.
It's good. It's just a little jittery on my computer.
Sure.
I installed a mod to like make it more compatible with like Windows 10. And it's still like slightly jittery, like enough to make it so I'm like I can only play this for like 20 minutes and then I start to just get like winded because I'm just all like, oh.
Yeah.
But I like it. I like how alive that world feels. I like how it's all about the writing and the atmosphere and all that make that game so amazing.
Did you get the the Ultimate Edition with the DLC?
No.
Okay. You should, though. Like, if you like that game, you should consider getting the DLC, because that game, in my opinion, has the best DLC out of any Bethesda game. The DLC in that game is fantastic.
Okay, I definitely will.
Yeah.
But then after I kind of cooled off for a little while, I actually hopped back into Nier.
Nice.
So if you hadn't heard previously, I had like a bit of a bungle where some of my save files on my PS4 got erased. Mm-hmm. One of those files was the entirety of my Nier Automata save.
God.
So I had to start over from the beginning. I was like halfway through the second playthrough, and that was a bummer. But I'm getting close to the end of the first playthrough, and I've also done more quests.
Uh-huh.
So I've actually probably done more quests than I did in my last save file. So I'm like kinda sorta further, but at the same time not really. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely catching up. I kind of forgot how much I loved that game.
It's good.
I fucking adore that game. Like, oh my god. Like, just getting back into the flow of that game. Like, remembering the controls. Like, I have this weird thing. I don't know if this is just like, I don't know what it is, but sometimes I just like to just like dodge over and over and just kind of like spin around in a circle because it just feels so good. Like, just the animation of 2B just like sliding. I'm like, oh man, it's just like floating around. It feels good.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So I'll just do that. But no, I mean, I love the combat. Like, I know that people will say that it's like more mashy than Platinum games ought to be, but I don't know. I kind of just love the concept of just like wading into a battle and slashing through enemies. But then, like, you know, you do have to be a lot more deliberate with like your stronger foes, and you know, like, you can mash through it if you want to like sit there for 10 minutes and take it down that long. But you know, if you're actually like planning your attacks, you can wall up an enemy like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't need to talk too much about it because, you know, I've talk that game up so often.
Sure.
But yeah, you know, if you haven't played it yet, you should definitely check it out. It's incredible. I love that game to bits.
Yeah, I need to get back to it too because I had just started like the second playthrough when I dropped off it for Persona 5.
Yeah. But yeah, after that, I think I'll finish Yakuza. I definitely need to finish Yakuza 0 before Kiwami comes out. It's like a month away, so I got time, but you know. Trying to think. That is about it, I think. You know, I'm still just like kind of trucking along at home. You know, it's kind of weird being back, but I guess I'm dealing with it.
Yeah, I got you.
So let's move on to news. Let's Ryan, let's start with you.
All right, sure. So you all know that good company we love so much, Namco. And maybe, like me, you're a fan of their series of Namco Museum titles. I played the Namco Museum for the PS2 pretty incessantly when I was younger. They had the like the Galaga and like the Pac-Man arrangement on there, and the Dig Dug arrangement too. And I played those games non-stop when I was younger. And I think I still have my copy of Namco Museum around here somewhere, but I'd have to find it. But anyway, there's a new one coming out. Well, maybe not a new one because these are old games, but a new anthology, simply called Namco Museum for the Nintendo Switch, that is coming out July 28th. Now, there are some interesting games in this version of Namco Museum. You've got your classic Pac-Mans, your Dig Dugs, your Galaga, but then you've also got stuff like Galaga 88,
that's a good one.
Yeah, the two Rolling Thunder games, Tank Force, Splatterhouse is in this.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that kind of makes me want to buy this Namco Museum, but most interestingly, I guess I should say, is the game Pac-Man Versus will be in this Namco Museum. Now, for those of you who don't know what Pac-Man Versus is, it was originally a GameCube game where you would play as 4 players. 3 players would be on the GameCube as the ghost, and 1 player would be using the Game Boy Advance to play as Pac-Man. and it would be the one person as Pac-Man being chased by the 3 people playing as Ghost. It was on the GameCube. It was on the 2008 DS Namco Museum, which seems perfect because it has the dual screens. But now it's coming to Switch, which is pretty cool. I think it's a bit of an odd game, like just conceptually, but it seems really cool. I've never played it. Now, what's really kind of maybe not so good about this is that Pac-Man Versus will actually require you to have 2 Switches to play. It won't have, it won't be anything where you can like play, multiplayer on one Switch. Apparently, I guess, I don't know. I don't even know how this would work. I guess you'd have to be over the internet, like some kind of local multiplayer type thing.
Yeah, it would be a local multiplayer thing because Switches can interact.
Locally.
One on each, locally,
without being on a network. They can LAN up somehow.
Yeah, like they mentioned that you can do like local like Splatoon that way. Like you can have up to like 8 people or whatever doing that even.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They showed that with like basketball, where the people were next to the basketball courts and were like, "Nah, fuck physical activity. Sit down at this picnic table, dog."
Yeah,
basketball.
it seems really neat, but like at the same time, I wonder how many people are going to be playing Namco Museum and seeking out other people's Switches just to play Pac-Man Versus.
John and I.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably do the same, honestly, but it just seems kind of odd. It seems kind of like the perfect game for like the Wii U, honestly. Having 2 screens and all that, like kind of that whole deal with the Wii U. But
they had on what was it, Nintendo Land? They had the game where you were Mario and the other 3 people were Toads, and so you played as Mario on the handheld Wii U tablet, and you could see where everyone was at all times and ran away, and they just they had to go by visuals on the TV.
It was the Luigi's Mansion one.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Luigi's
it was the
Mansion.
ghosts.
Well, there's that as well. Those were 2 different games, and the Luigi's Mansion was all on one screen. And were you the ghost, and they were 3 Ghostbusters?
No, the Luigi's Mansion one, it was on 2 separate screens. One of you plays as like the ghost on the D-pad or like the pad, and the other person plays as Luigi on the screen. If I remember correctly,
it was up to 3 people could play as on the screen.
Yeah,
and then there was that Animal Crossing one. That one was really good too. Nintendo Land fucking rules.
Yeah,
it was okay.
Good.
It was okay.
It was really good.
Better than 1-2 Switch. So yeah, this is going to be coming out for on July 28th. I might actually consider buying this because I really want to play. I really want to play Splatterhouse on my Switch. To be completely honest, that's like I feel like even with Pac-Man Versus in here, like Splatterhouse to me, reading this list seems like the most like bizarre entry into this anthology. Like, have they ever?
Rolling Thunder's a little weird too.
Yeah, I don't know too much about the Rolling Thunder games, but
they're weird.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to see them port those arrangements from the PS2 era one, because those are like really good like updates of Pac-Man, Dig Dug, and Galaga and all that. Mm-hmm. But I guess if I want to play those, I'll just have to bust out my PS2 copy. That's about it for the Namco Museum news. I love these collections generally, so I may get this. If you're interested in Pac-Man, Splatterhouse, Pac-Man Versus, Galaga 88, then maybe check it out. But I'll be looking forward to seeing how the Pac-Man Versus stuff takes off with it, because that's pretty interesting to me.
Did they say that Pac-Man Versus would be online multiplayer, or is that only local?
It says in this article, each game will feature an online ranking system, so I'm assuming there will be online functionality.
No, but maybe not multiplayer.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. They may not have announced it yet because I didn't see any news about it.
Well, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Because I feel like at some point, I feel like you could pretty much transfer over the one screen has the Pac-Man view and the other screen has the Ghost view, but once you start like splitting that up more, if like 4 people are playing separately online, like you're kind of making a new game, and these Namco museums are supposed to just be like collections. So I don't know how much work they would want to put into that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
It would be awesome, but you know.
Yeah.
Also, quick fun fact: the original Pac-Man Versus on GameCube was designed by Miyamoto.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Michael,
John,
would you like to share your? Would you like to share your news story?
Sure. My news story involves the George Costanza of video games, also called G2A. Because everything they do seemingly fails as they're doing it. G2A, if you don't recall, are the... I don't even know how to refer to them as. The sort of independent video game key seller that also allows... Was it just a marketplace? Yeah, I think it was just a marketplace that allowed people to sell video game keys. And in the past, I'd say, year or so, they've started to come under fire by more and more developers and publishers. Specifically, TinyBuild will gladly call them on their shit whenever the chance pops up.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of... God bless them for it.
Yeah, kind of awesome to watch them do it.
I love it. Like we get 2 types of emails from TinyBuild where they talk about their games and when they're shit talking G2A, and I love both of them.
Yeah, it's rare, but when it comes in, you're like, oh, all right, this is a weird press release. Sure, I'll read this. But yeah, G2A was kind of accused of taking keys from publishers or developers and not giving the proper recompense back once they sold them. Also allowing people to take keys from sellers or from publishers and stuff, or from nefarious means, and selling them on their marketplace. G2A has always kind of denied this, but has tried to fix things. And every time they try to fix things, it just breaks. So... Here they are trying to fix things again. They're making some changes. The first smaller change, I guess, is that the up to 200,000 people who sell things on their site will now no longer be allowed to be anonymous. Before, they had to report their real name and their location to G2A, but that stuff was hidden from whoever was buying it. Now that stuff will no longer be hidden. That seems a little strange, that you're giving people who are buying stuff someone's real name and real location, but that's one of their efforts to make themselves seem legitimate.
Sure.
This is also to stop people from, or hopefully will stop people from lying about where they live, because there are certain taxes in Europe that are being circumvented, internet transaction taxes that aren't being paid when you can go on there and say, I'm from Australia, mate. I'm certainly not in Germany. Anyways, I'm in Germany. So
sure.
They're changing that so that they, I guess, can be more legitimate in terms of how people view them, and also with, the EU. But their other big thing, which I am pretty sure that they said they would no longer be reselling keys. I want to say at the beginning of this year, they told somebody that they would no longer be a key reseller, that they would be a legitimate marketplace. So then you can decide what G2A deal is. G2A deal is their attempt at like bundling.
Sure.
They will get keys from publishers and developers, bundle them together, and sell you them for a deep discount. And a lot of sites do this. Their first bundle was like Lords of the Fallen, Superhot, Dirt 3, and the 2 Siberia games. And their current one is like Tropico 4, Car Mechanic Simulator 2015, Dungeons 2, real bangers.
Yeah.
And I think you can even auto subscribe, so you can get a deeper discount that way as well. But as soon as this took off, there have been developers who have already come out and said, yo, I got ripped off. The developer behind Slime Rancher, which is a game I desperately want, posted an email that they got from G2A and has accused them of what everyone has always accused G2A of cutting them out of money that they earned, cutting them out of the sales that G2A has given out and not giving them the money of it. All of which G2A continues to say, no, we don't. Everything's legitimate. So yeah, they are continuing to try and change, deny that anything is bad is happening, and yet continuing to change things. So G2A still George Costanzaing it up wherever they go.
It was supposed to be the summer of G2A.
Ensconced in velvet. Come on, what else you got?
I don't know. I'll think of some more later.
I can't think of any either. Meet the Mets. He almost was in the Mets.
Yep.
Went back to the Yankees.
Believe it or not, G2A isn't at home.
Please leave a message at the beep.
Alright, so our last bit of news is probably the biggest bit of news of the week here. There's going to be a Super Nintendo Classic, a SNES Classic, SNES Classic, however you want to say it. Yay. So they announced it over a couple days ago. And the list of games, it's basically what you'd expect. First off, it comes out September 29th. It'll be $80.
It sells out September 29th.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna sell out before September 29th because they're gonna have pre-orders. So
yeah.
It's gonna be $80. Comes with 2 controllers, and I'm going to read the list of games that is going to be on it.
How long is that controller cord?
5 feet, from what I've heard.
Ooh, 2 whole more feet.
Yeah.
Also, are those controllers permanently connected?
No.
Okay, so I won't have like 2 controllers just dangling off this piece of machinery sitting next to my TV permanently.
No, I mean you could get new controllers for the NES Classic even, and you can also use like previous controllers too. Like you could hook up like the Wii Classic controller and like the Wii U, all that stuff. Like you can hook up all kinds of stuff to these, which is pretty neat, honestly. But so here is the list of games.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna name a game. And then you're going to start with John, then we'll go to Ryan, and then we'll go to myself, and we'll give a yes or a no.
Okay.
Or, well, I don't know. if you don't know what the fuck it is.
Alright, so there are 20 games in the initial lineup, and then you unlock 1 game, and I'll leave that one out for last.
Okay.
So, Contra 3 The Alien Wars. It's a good game, yes.
Am I next?
Yes.
Was that yes, I'm next, or yes, Contra 3
you're
Alien
next.
Wars? I also say yes to Contra 3.
Yes, move the fuck on.
Okay. Donkey Kong Country. Yes, but I kind of wish Diddy's Conquest was on here too.
I mean, I've played a little bit of this game. I'm not super familiar with it though, so I'll say yes. Yeah.
Just listen to the soundtrack. Don't replay that game. It's hard as shit, and it's not worth your time.
Okay. So is that a no?
It's a no.
Okay. Earthbound, resounding yes.
Yes.
Never played it.
It's very good. Final Fantasy 3, which is in actuality 6. So Final Fantasy 6, really.
Wait, is it actually? So are they still sticking to those naming conventions? Because because they call 2 4 now, as it actually is in reality. But when it came out here, it was 2.
I think what they're doing is basically like it came out in the U.S. It came out in the U.S. on Super Nintendo as Final Fantasy 3, so we're calling it that.
Okay, because they have since released the original Final Fantasy 2 as Final Fantasy 2, and now just
Final
call
Fantasy 3, yeah.
Yeah, and now they just call Final Fantasy 4 Final Fantasy 4, because I own it all on Game Boy Advance, because they sold them all in like weird packages.
Yeah. But it is Final Fantasy 6.
Okay.
That is the actual game that they are putting out. That is also another resounding yes. Final Fantasy 6 is great.
Yeah, I'd say yes.
It's not 4, so no.
Come on, Michael. Is that your actual answer?
Yeah.
All right.
I want to be a shithead.
All right. F-Zero. It's like historically important, so I say yes.
I've never played it. I have no opinion.
I've never played it, so yes.
Okay. Kirby Superstar. Another resounding yes. That game is incredible.
Sure.
I've never played a Kirby game other than the next one.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
Kirby's Dream Course. That is also a big yes, but I mean, it's a very good game, but also I'm glad that it's probably the weirdest game on this list.
Yeah,
Like,
I have no idea what this game is.
It's a golf game.
It's a mini golf game.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's isometric mini golf game.
Wow. Okay.
It's really good.
It probably plays like shit now because it's not modern controls, but it's worth playing. So sure.
Link to the Past? Yes.
Sure.
Yes, the best Zelda game. Yes.
Mega Man X? Another resounding yes.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure.
Secret of Mana? That's also like another one of the weirder pulls, but yes.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that game.
It should be Chrono Trigger, but Secret of Mana I feel like is the next best choice.
Mm-hmm. All right. Star Fox. Yeah, I mean it's important for the Super Nintendo, but
It's a classic, yeah. It's mode 7 out the ass. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm. Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting.
Why would you buy that in the SNES Classic when you can get it on the Switch for $50?
Because that's super.
I don't know.
No, Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting. Yeah, Ultra Street Fighter 2 has like 2 more characters and is in HD. So, I don't know. I mean, hyper fighting's fine. So
I don't
yes.
know. I didn't realize there were 2 Street Fighter 2s, so I'm just gonna
there are more than that.
I'm just gonna beep 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 back up out of this joke so we can move on.
A dozen. I grew up playing Super, so this is
Sure.
probably it's probably the same, but also I have a soft spot for Super.
Okay.
Okay. Super Castlevania 4. Yes.
I've never played a Castlevania game.
This is one of the best ones.
Yeah,
So,
it's-
I'll take your word for it.
The Super Nintendo ones are generally the good ones,
Okay.
except for Simon's Quest.
that was an NES one.
Yeah, it's all together. It's all the same thing.
People will fight you over that, Michael.
Bring it.
Okay. Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I mean, that game's like well made, but it's also like one of the hardest games ever made. So
Yeah.
no.
Take it with a grain of salt, maybe.
Is that
Yeah.
the one where once you beat it, you have to go back through it again?
That's every Ghosts and Goblins and Ghouls and Ghosts game. Yeah.
Okay.
So
What about Grab by the Ghoulies?
that has no. That's a rare game. That's not Capcom. This is a Capcom.
Wow,
Game.
it's a rare game. How much does it go for on eBay?
I'm gonna kill you.
Listen, motherfucker.
Move on. Just move on.
Okay.
Move on.
Super Mario Kart. Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
you know,
Mario
again,
Kart.
it's Mario Kart, but
What
least-
else do you want on here? It's Mario Kart. It's a classic. Come on.
at least it's not Mario Kart 64.
If you shut the fuck up. We had this conversation the other day. Mario Kart 64 is great. You're wrong.
All right. Super Mario
fuck up.
RPG. Super Mario RPG.
Yes.
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 Super Mario World, of course.
Oh, fuck yes, actually.
Super Metroid, again, of course.
Yes.
Yep.
Super Punch Out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know jack about the Punch-Out games.
You punch.
Super Punch Out's okay.
No shit.
And
Do you
Yoshi's
kick?
Island.
No kicking. Oh, yeah, there you go. There's the piece of trash.
Yeah.
Yoshi's
No,
Island.
Yoshi's Island's good.
No, it's not.
Yes.
How can you fucking
Yes.
look at Mario Kart and go like, and then you go to Yoshi's Island and go like, yeah, I want a baby crying in my ear for 8 to 10 hours. Great.
Because
Fucking
Look,
the egg
there's-
mechanic is the most trashiest thing ever. Fuck
there
no.
are better Mario Karts, all right? Look, Super Mario Kart's okay.
You're right. There
all
are
right?
better Mario Karts, and Yoshi's Island has never been good. So at least you could play a series that has a high watermark, whereas Yoshi's Island is always drowning.
You hush.
Jesus.
Anyway, so
That's-
yeah, so those are the 20 games that you get initially. But there's one other game that is an unlockable.
Mother 3.
It's never unlocked.
Okay, so if you beat the first level of Star Fox on the SNES Classic, you unlock the never-before-released Star Fox 2, the Super Nintendo game that they canceled in favor of Star Fox 64. So just to clear the air, this is actually a version that has never been seen to the public. Like, there is a leaked ROM of Star Fox 2 that people have, like, stitched together and translated and, like, made
Finished
playable.
themselves. Yeah, they finished that themselves.
But that is not the same thing as what's going to be on the SNES Classic. Like, this is the fully completed version. Like, the dev team behind Star Fox 2, like, the people who made it have, like, come out and said, like, this is going to be what we worked on, what we finished, what we had ready to go. Like, this is our work. So it's just, like, a neat bit of history that they're doing that. And it's, you just have to beat the first level of Star Fox 1 to be able to play a game that never came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard as fuck to get this. Nintendo has come out and said, like, hey, we are going to try to make more of these, but it is up in the air that we are going to continue making these past the end of 2017. So it might end up being another NES Classic fiasco, but,
So I have a question, and it's to both of you.
Yes.
As people who like and enjoy video games and know a lot about them, we're entrenched in the industry.
Well, speak for yourself. I know a lot about them.
Yeah, John and I know a lot about video games. I know a lot about video games that don't involve anime. So, John, but we're kind of entrenched in the industry. We know things like ROMs and emulators and all this other stuff. Why, other than the people who don't know about those things, why would someone want to buy this thing?
Seems cool. I don't know.
It's a neat collector's piece.
Yeah.
Is it a collector's piece?
It will be.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's an easy way to play those games. Especially if you, like, obviously you can just, like, you can just download ROMs, but, like, it's an easy way to just have those games on, like, right there and hooked up to your TV. You don't have to worry about, like, a Raspberry Pi or whatever.
Sure, but like, you could download an emulator to your phone and just play it wherever you go. Like, I'm not saying that this thing is worthless and no one should buy it. It's weird, and I know a lot of people don't know about emulators, or it's certainly a gray area. It involves a certain level of piracy. It's not exactly fully legal, but it's not fully illegal. It's weird, right? And this isn't. This is an approved product. But, like, these kind of products have existed before, not from Nintendo, but, like, Sega makes this stuff. Like, I've owned, like, an Atari one that plugged to your TV, like, ooh.
Yeah.
Combat.
Flashbacks, yeah.
Yeah, and those things are neat once or twice. But they're not running on, like, original hardware. They're running on, and I think someone did a teardown of the mini NES, and it was like, yeah, this is just essentially a Raspberry Pi. It is just this little tiny circuit board. And for $80, for $80 for all the trouble to get it, and then for this thing with a 5-foot cord that only plays 21 games, I put all that there, and I look at my actual Super Nintendo that still works. I own a good chunk of those games, or I can emulate a good chunk of those games. It's just so much more convenient and free for me to just ignore this thing completely. And I don't understand why some people, especially people who are, as like us, who are entrenched in the industry and know about emulation, look at this and go, yeah, this is neat. I mean, it's neat. But yeah, I'm going to pre-order it right now. Like, why?
Well, I mean, I think people are as ravenous as they are right now for the Super Nintendo one is just because of how hard it was to get the NES one. Like, I feel like,
sure,
and like, because if you like look at the timeline, like, it's a little hard to remember now, but I specifically recall, like, when that NES Classic came out, like, that initial response was basically just like, all right, yeah, it's this, like, little, like,
right,
neat little piece, but, you know, whatever, I might pick one up because it's basically like $1 per game, or basically, or $2 per game or whatever. But then it got really rare, and everyone was like, oh, they're not producing a lot of these, and then it became a collector's item. And now this one is definitely going to be a collector's item again. So that, I feel like, is why it's, like, ravenous. It's also why, you know, people don't give a shit about amiibos anymore, because they're not, like, you know, some people do, but, like, you don't see people, like, scrambling and waiting in line for them anymore, because it's just like, you know, whatever. You know, they're not as rare anymore. It's definitely a rarity thing.
That's shitty.
Also,
go ahead.
Oh no, also I was gonna say, like, there are some good fucking games on this thing, and, like, I had kind of maybe considered buying one, possibly. I don't think I will, but even if the NES Mini hadn't been such, like, a collector's thing, like, I obviously never owned a NES, I never owned a SNES or anything like that, and I don't know, I just like the physicality of, like, having that, like, in my room, I guess, like the controllers and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
It's really something that's up to personal taste. I think I personally will just be praying that a lot of this stuff comes to Switch on Virtual Console whenever they launch that.
That's the other, like, end of this is they're selling the mini NES and the mini SNES, and it's so hard to get, and it's kind of expensive. Not that Virtual Console is cheap. It's hard. It's a little expensive. And they still haven't announced any information on Virtual Console, and the Switch is out.
Yeah.
And, like, it's each day that goes by and they don't say anything, a part of me keeps thinking, like the chances go up in my mind that Wii U owners won't get any kind of discount for any games that they owned, and it won't carry over. Or maybe they're trying to desperately figure it out, but it's just weird to me that... It's weird to me to see so many people complain the Switch isn't in stock, the Mini NES isn't in stock, this thing won't be in stock, the Virtual Console isn't out, but then on the other hand go like, oh, I'm going to buy it all. Like, wait, why? Stop yourselves. Pick one. Stop doing this to yourselves. Like, don't engage with this stuff. It's the same with the amiibos. Like, I really want the first Kirby amiibo, but I'm not going to spend more than 15, maybe $20 on it. So I just kind of look at the prices every now and again and go, yeah, that's okay. It's 17. Maybe I'll keep waiting. Someone will eventually sell it for cheaper, or I'll just never get it. It's not a big deal. It's just so strange to me to see people so ravenous over it. And it's like, why are you so like, is nostalgia that powerful? Am I that underwhelmed by nostalgia for this specific thing? It's just strange to me.
It is a little weird, but, you know, I still think I think it's neat, and I you know, I'm not going to get one, just like how I probably couldn't have gotten an NES Classic if I wanted to, but at the same time, like, I just you know, you're right, because I do understand, like, how ROMs work, and also I'm the kind of person who would rather just actually have the original hardware, or something like an upscaler, like one of those, like, analog NTs or something like that. But, you know, it's a much lower end thing for people. You know, it plugs into your TV, it works right out of the box. That's enough for a lot of people.
Sure, like, I get why it's mass market appealing. Like, I totally understand that. It's just strange to me to see, like, the high level of excitement. And maybe it's because the NES is just too old, and the Super Nintendo, everyone seemingly had one, and 90s nostalgia is all the rage right now. Yeah. So maybe that's why. It's just...
And also, just because this has, I think, better games than the NES one did. Like, you tell someone it has, like, you know, Earthbound, like Super Mario World, you know, that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah. With the NES, it's like, yeah, you know, these are classic games, but how many of these are actually, you know, worth shelling out the money for at this point?
I think that depends on how old you are.
Yeah.
Like John and I were discussing what if they did a mini Super Nintendo or N64, and that would probably get as big of a reaction as the Super Nintendo, because those people are growing up. Nostalgia is strong. Yeah. If you look at movies right now, it's all 90s movies being remade. And the only ones that aren't 90s movies being remade are, like, Transformers, because it's in its 15,000th sequel, and they're going to keep making money on it. But everything else is 90s movies. So these are 90s products, because those kids now are in their 20s and have disposable income because they don't have kids yet. They don't have, you know, houses and mortgage payments. So that's where the money is, and that's why they sell so well. So
Sure.
when the mini N64 comes out next year or the year after, holy shit.
I'd buy it.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
That is how it is. Alright, let's move on to questions. Michael, would you bring us in?
I brought you questions and answers. Huh? Huh? If you have questions, not you two, I'm talking to everybody else.
I know.
So, like, put your fingers in your ears, if you don't mind.
Okay.
If you have questions, you can email podcast@videogamechoochoo.com, or you can go over to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ASK. That spells ask, because you'll be asking questions that sound like these questions. You can take your fingers out of your ears now.
Okay.
What?
Shush, don't yell. God, so rude.
I'm
Indoor
ju-
voice.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Indoor voice.
Okay.
We start off with the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. I guess they're a fan of the site.
Sure.
They write in asking, for the podcast, with the new Yoshi and Kirby games being called Yoshi and Kirby respectively, would it be out of line to consider these games reboots of the series? Calling a rebooted game just its regular name is fairly popular with video games, and they give God of War and Devil May Cry as good examples.
I think those are just temporary names.
Yeah, I don't know if those are finalized names or not, because did they even give like title? They didn't give them title cards, did they?
They did, but I think they also I think they also specifically had like a little thing on the bottom that said like this is a temporary name.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm sure like and just for shits and giggles, like even if they didn't, title them anything else, like if it was just Yoshi or Kirby, I think that it's kind of like a marketing power play for people who are just buying a Switch and just getting into Nintendo, so they don't see like, oh, Kirby and the big fucking rainbow bakery cake planet kind of shit, and be like, oh, this is like the 80th Kirby game, and I can't get into this series. Like naming something like that, like you could say with God of War, makes it accessible to people who have never tried the franchise but maybe want to dip their toes into it.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. Like I'm sure Metroid Prime 4 won't just be Metroid Prime 4. Like I bet that'll have a subtitle too, but it'll just be a while before we find out what that is.
I imagine Yoshi for sure will have a different title, because it is that Yoshi's Yarn with like cardboard diorama look.
Yeah.
That might be Yoshi's Yarn, Yoshi's Woolly Mammoth World. But
like if they were gonna reboot Yoshi, it would be like a Mario World, like Yoshi's Island kind of game, or whatever. Like it would be like it would have like regular ass like dinosaur Yoshi. It wouldn't be Yarn Yoshi.
Yeah, and Nintendo specifically, their franchises are kind of reboot impervious. Not saying there isn't story, but like, what's the story to Kirby? So I am sure someone knows, and that Tumblr URL exists somewhere. I don't need it in my life. Like most people probably couldn't tell you the story to Kirby or Yoshi. Even Mario, it's like Bowser kidnaps the princess.
Yeah, the only series I can think of in Nintendo that has an ongoing story is Metroid Prime, which makes sense that it's Metroid Prime 4. But even then, I get the feeling that it'll be pretty disconnected. Like even the Metroid Prime games are pretty disconnected from each other to a degree.
Yeah, I played 1 and 2, and I don't remember a through line, but I also probably didn't read a lot of the text in that game. I probably just played it.
By the time you get to 3 especially, there's like an overarching thread going through those games.
Gotcha.
But even then you can play them without having played the other ones, I think.
Okay. Moving on. Anonymous asks, you guys hyped for Seiken Densetsu Cross the Godfather? What?
Michael, it was here. Come here, Michael. Come here.
No, don't get near me. Don't touch me.
No, just
There's a restraining order. The judge said so.
Let me whisper in your ear.
All right, I'm going to put my ear up to my microphone, because that's not how headphones work. Go ahead.
Okay. It's a reference to a drill tweet. It's very funny, I promise you.
All right, moving on. Anonymous asks, I don't follow drill, so.
Okay.
I noticed that John loves No More Heroes, but nobody else seems to share his strong enthusiasm.
Yeah, you're telling me.
I just like the beginning of this question so much.
Nobody else is fucking whacked out like John is.
It's so like it's put in. That is the kindest way to put it, so that none of us seem like jackasses. So it doesn't seem like John's a crazy person, and it doesn't seem like any of us are mean. Every time No More Heroes brought up, and we're like, "Oh, that's a John game."
Yeah, that idiot.
Yes, there's an actual question. Do the other members of the crew have games they are particularly passionate about in a similar manner?
See, my thing is that I've never played the No More Heroes games.
Yeah,
I think
same,
I think if I had, I'd probably be more enthusiastic because those seem like games that I would really, really, really enjoy. And there's a few games, despite its various flaws and the groans that it will elicit from people on the site. The first two Kingdom Hearts games, I love those games. The first BioShock game, fucking Undertale still. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but the short answer is yes. I think everyone has those games that they will get really, excited about like that. So I don't want to just list off a whole bunch of games, but there are definitely a few.
I also follow the same camp. I haven't played No More Heroes, so I just look at John like he's a crazy person, like I do with anything he does.
Yeah, I mean, and
even
you're
when
right.
even when I agree with him, it's like, oh, you're fucking crazy. I'm excited too. There's a lot of games that I like, both because they're good and both because I shouldn't like them, but I like them anyways. Like, I love SimCity. There has not been a SimCity I have played that I thought this is bad. Even the newest one that people hated, I still enjoyed it on some level. And I think, like Ryan said, there's a lot of games that I think most people just enjoy, even though there's no real reason to. It's part of the reason I like writing about video games, is because I can shine a light on, or at least express myself of like, no, hey, this is why I like this game, or suddenly there'll be like Red Dead Redemption's a really good example of a game that I absolutely loved. I cried during the story towards the end, and then like the last 2 or 3 years, there was like just a wallop of people who were like, the game sucks. Like, where the fuck were you people when this thing came out? I don't remember anyone saying this. Yeah. And it's just, I don't like that attitude of that game just sucks. I think we all playfully do that sometimes, like with Kingdom Hearts, those games suck. But, and people who like them are weird, especially if they're named Brian. But overall, like, there are a ton of games that I like, even though they're terrible or inconsistent, like Civilization. Brink is a notorious one that I like for some fucking reason. I generally like golf games. I couldn't tell you why. I don't like watching golf, but I played a lot of those Tiger Woods games. I like a lot of the like old school early age golf games, like Neo Turf Masters and Mario Golf. Rory McIlroy's golf is a hot pile of trash because it runs like shit. But yeah, there's a lot of I like sports games actually, just in general. I enjoy them sometimes. So I think probably everyone on the site has a good list of games that they like, unironically, that are probably flawed or deeply flawed. And we just, Niall likes David Cage games, and those games suck.
I think the question is more just for like games that you have overwhelming enthusiasm for, regardless of whether or not they're considered "quote unquote" good or like actually good. Because I do think the games that I listed are genuinely good games, but
sure, and there are a lot of games that I just kind of root for, even if they go bad, like Halo. Like, I love a good Halo, and I hope that they make another good one. But I also can recognize that series isn't as good as it was in like Halo 2, Halo 3 era. So it can be really easy in this industry to be really negative and just like, oh, games suck. They all suck. It's like, no, actually, they're all pretty good. So,
yeah.
And John's love for No More Heroes is just wrong. He's terrible.
I know it is, but that's not gonna stop me. No, no, those games are fantastic. I don't give a shit.
Do you have other games that are like that for you?
That just like fill me with endless joy and like, I mean, you know, I feel like some of the, like, a lot of people know those by now. You know, like Danganronpa 2 is so important to me. You know, yeah, like Ryan said, Undertale a little bit. Any Smash game, especially Smash 4. You know, just stuff like that just really makes me happy. I mean, for this year, I'll be honest, like, Nier is starting to creep into that role. Like, you know, like, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be as, like, big as No More Heroes, where I'm gonna, like, bring it up all the fucking time. But, you know, I think, like, once a year I have, like, at least one game that's just like, oh, this is so special to me. This means a lot.
Yeah.
So, you know. That's what I look forward to the most every year, is like finding that game, that special game that I'm like, this changed me in a meaningful way.
And then it's just Undertale and you're sad. Because Undertale sucks. Shoeless writes in, asks, what's the most you've ever fucked it up in a video game? You know, rearrange and remove some words, and this is a really strange question. Just saying.
Michael, do you have a real answer for this question?
What's the most I've ever fucked it up in a video game?
Mm-hmm.
God, like completely fucked up.
A bungle. A real humdinger, if you will.
Why? Do you have something in mind? I feel like I'm being set up for something.
No. I'm just trying to move the conversation along.
Nothing comes like instantly to mind. There have been several times where, and I can't think of a good example, where I will get to a point in the game and just have no clue what to do.
Yeah.
Just absolutely no clue. Or whatever I'm doing, I fail multiple times. And it's like, well, I don't know what to do. But nothing comes straight to mind. What about you two?
I think I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again because it's real dumb. It's a bungle, but it's also like a masterpiece at the same time. So this was from Hitman. This the latest one. So I played this. This happened this year. I was doing the Paris mission, and I bought the steelbook like complete set, the whole first season, and that comes with some extra like little goodies. And one of those goodies is an early explosive rubber duck. So I got stuck trying that first mission. You know, like I was just getting my feet wet. I was just getting my feet wet, and I didn't really understand how the game worked, to an extent. So I was banging my head against it, like trying to figure it out, and I just got fed up. So I equipped the rubber duck. I walked right up to where the dude was walking down the stairs, like right at the beginning of that level, and I lobbed it at him and blew it up. I don't know how I did it, but I only killed him. And the place, and also nobody noticed it was that I did it. Like there was like an alert, but not like one of those, oh, we know who you are, we are hunting you down. There was just one of those like some shit went down, we need to clear the place out sort of deal. So the entire place got evacuated, except for the guards and a couple of the like higher end NPCs. So, that guy was dead. The guards were swarming all over the place. And so I'm like walking around like trying to figure out like, okay, so the woman that you're supposed to assassinate is going to be under like extra tight security. So I was trying to think like, how could I get to her? Well, I know someone who could definitely get to her, Helmut Kruger. So I walked outside, and Helmut Kruger was still like on his AI path of doing like what he was supposed to do. So I go over to him. I wait until he's like in like that like secluded area. I knock him out. I change into him. I call the woman up, and like I guess just like because of like the roadmap that the game wanted to take me. she told me, she still said, you have to walk the runway before you come and meet me. So I was a little, like, at this point, I don't know if I had to do this, but I was still, like, a little worried that, like, if I didn't do this in the exact right way, like, the scripting would break.
Sure.
So I still went and walked the runway. But the kicker is, there was nobody there. The entire place was clear except for a bunch of guards. And the guards were walking, like, around, like, even on top of the runway. Like, I was walking around the guards, just doing, like, the posing as if there were still people there. And it worked, and after I walked the runway, I got a call from the woman. She said, meet me upstairs. I went up there, and I assassinated her. Like, I just strangled her, and that was it. And
John.
That was the fucking weirdest thing.
John,
Yes?
do you remember the question? It was the biggest bungle.
I
What
feel
you
like it was
just
still
described.
kind of a bungle.
Hold on. What you just described is the opposite of a bungle.
Yeah, what you just described is like the best Hitman story of all time, actually.
So John is disqualified. He's DQ'd. Ryan,
right.
what do you got?
All right, so y'all want to hear about my biggest video game bungle? Well, you know, I can keep this pretty short.
Please.
This is gonna be like the baby shoes never worn kind of story. Last year, while we were doing our extra live stream for charity, I played a week of Garfield, as I am wont to do during charity streams.
Disgusting.
And by accident, I wrote over my Earthbound save file with Week of Garfield data.
I don't even know how that. How does another game overwrite I don't.
Well, so when you run an NES emulator like that, or a SNES emulator, I guess, because despite its fucking atrocious aesthetics, Week of Garfield is a Famicom game for the SNES. You have like 10 different save slots you can write on the emulator.
Okay.
And I had Earthbound saved in the first slot, and I was so involved in Week of Garfield, I hit the autosave button, and it just automatically overwrote the first save slot, and I lost basically about a third of my progress through Earthbound. Like, I was about a third of the way through that game, and it just got wiped.
Good job.
And I have still not gone back to playing that game yet because I'm still so miserable over fucking Garfield coming in and taking a big orange furry dump on my precious save files. So thanks, Jim Davis, again.
Anonymous writes in and asks, what's your favorite licensed video game?
Well,
Like a game like a game that was made pretty much only as a promotional tie-in to another franchise, usually a movie.
So I this is almost ancient history at this point, but last year I started a line of features about licensed games called Land of the License. I think I put out about 4 of them, and then I just kind of fell off it. But if I had to pick 3 for various reasons, if you want to say a good licensed game, like a really good one that I have a lot of fondness for,
It's his favorite, so whatever your personal favorite is.
Yeah. So this game actually just had its 13th anniversary the other day. Spider-Man 2 for the PS2.
Yeah, that was going to be my answer. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I fucking loved that game as a kid, and I'm kind of thinking about writing up a feature on that sometime soon because I don't have a copy of that game anymore, but I saw one for like $5 at a half-price books with like the manual and everything. So I think this weekend I might go back and pick that up. But the other contender would probably be Friday the 13th for the NES, just because even all these years later, that game is still just fucking crazy, and I love it. Like it's horrid, but I love everything about it.
John?
I mean, yeah, Spider-Man was gonna be my answer, but, I mean, I guess, like, it's kind of hard to say, because it's, like, it's a little difficult to say, like, what a...
Personal favorite.
Well, okay, so, I guess I could say, like, Marvel vs. Capcom?
Sure,
Yeah.
that's a licensed game.
Yeah, alright, then yeah. So, like, Marvel vs. Capcom 3. There you go. I guess that's my
Okay.
answer. Alright.
All right. There are probably like a ton if you really think about it. Like every Tom Clancy game is a licensed game.
You know what? Wait. I gotta change my answer. Turtles in
Okay.
Time. Turtles in Time.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yes, Turtles in Time.
Okay, I'm not letting you change it again.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Because guess what? Turtles in Time.
Good. All right. Probably like GoldenEye.
Okay.
Because that,
Sure.
I mean, that is a direct like movie tie-in game,
Yeah.
like Spider-Man 2 is, and probably the only two good movie games that I could come up with. I know that Wolverine.
The Godfather game for PS2 was actually pretty decent from what I remember.
Yeah, I've heard it's good. I haven't heard like it's not like Spider-Man 2 GoldenEye like era
Sure,
or
sure,
level.
yeah.
I know that Wolverine Origins game has some people go like, yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, GoldenEye. I did probably hundreds of hours playing GoldenEye, both alone and with friends. And it follows the movie. Like I never saw the movie as a kid. I just played the game. And eventually, I saw the movie. I was like, wait, that's the helicopter man. I play multiplayer. There he is. He's not karate chopping. That's weird. No. He doesn't get to hold the laser gun. Final question. And remember, you can also send questions in to podcast@videogamechoochoo.com, or you can go over to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. I almost forgot. Friendazoned finishes us off, if I can speak. Would you rather have Goku be president or Piccolo be president? Thanks. Thanks
Piccolo.
Thanks for that question. Piccolo? He's a fucking mean disposition, and he's evil at one point.
He's good now, and he's better at taking care of Goku's kids than Goku is. Goku has a kind heart, but Piccolo knows how to take care of business. I feel like Goku would get very overwhelmed in the office. Like, Goku would be like, oh yeah, no, I'm ready to help out, you know? But, like, Piccolo, it's no nonsense. Piccolo would know exactly what to do in any situation. He could diffuse situations. And, you know, him being evil previously, that just goes to show that that just shows, like, a strength of heart. I think Piccolo is deserving of the office.
Goku is more powerful. So would you rather have someone who's gonna be no nonsense, or do you want someone who can stop Frieza and Cell and all these other people who are gonna come try to destroy the Earth? Goku.
Well, you know what? That's like, it's not like Goku wouldn't, Piccolo should be president, because then Goku will have more time to fight. He wouldn't have to worry about all the, like, signing bills and, like, meeting diplomats.
How about a third-party candidate everyone can get behind? Mr. Satan.
Yeah, I feel like Mr. Satan would be like the face that they like elect, but then like Piccolo and Goku are just like telling him what to say.
I don't think Goku would tell anyone what to say.
Or, yeah, Piccolo and like Krillin or something. Like they would. I don't think
Krillin would tell him. Like Krillin would be like, "Oh, that girl with the boobs." Like, Krillin is just horny all the time.
That's not Krillin.
Listen,
he is.
I'm glad you two are well equipped enough to discuss this question, because I don't know anything about.
Well, Krillin's married now.
Just say Yamcha, and that's all you have to say, Ryan. Just
Yamcha's
say,
horny. Yamcha's the horny one. Yeah.
I hate
they're all horny. I think they're all horny.
They all were horny. They all were horny, but now they're all like settled down. They're all like in their like 40s. They're fine now.
See, I don't know, because like there was Dragon Ball and then Z, and then there's GT, which I've watched all of, and then there was Kai, and now there's Super.
Kai is just a remake of Z, where they cut out a bunch of the fluff.
Did it include any of GT?
No, because GT isn't canon anymore.
Right, and
what
now
about the
that's
live-action movie? Where does that fit in?
In the sewer.
Top. Number one. Best thing ever.
The ones that are canon are Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super.
Okay, and I've only seen a few as Super, and it's okay.
Yeah, well, you know.
The episodes I saw, they were like feeding a dude who was a cat.
Sure.
Sounds like my kind of show.
Yeah, they were feeding a dude who was a cat, and they were very worried. And now they're fighting Frieza again. Because why think of something new?
Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Alright. So, that should do it for this week's episode. I'd like to thank Michael and Ryan for being on the show.
No.
Thank you for having us, John. Wow, you know what, Michael? I'm over here trying to be polite, and you just gotta be a Debbie Downer
Damn
all the time
right.
on this
Wow.
podcast.
Fuck Kingdom Hearts and fuck No More Heroes.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
Great. Anyway, after that rudeness, let's end the show. I'd also like to thank everybody for listening, and I would also like to thank you if you want to go out and leave us a review and a rating on iTunes. That would be very helpful. That gets more eyes on our prize.
Ugh.
And, yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
I didn't sign up for this.
I apologize. That gets more eyes on us, and it's probably the best thing that you can do to help us grow. And also retweeting, reblogging, and sharing with your friends anything that we post on the site, on our Twitter page and our Tumblr page. And,
What's our Twitter handle?
Our Twitter handle is @VGChoochoo, and the Tumblr is videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. And
Boom.
What's up?
I said boom.
Yeah, boom.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
Mm-hmm.
And just follow one of those if you want to see everything that we post. You know, the podcast
Follow
or videos.
all of 'em.
Yeah, we posted a new video. Ryan, you did a video of Scott. Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, Scott and I took the site's first small step for man, leap for mankind into the world of virtual reality, with Scott playing a game. I believe it's called Spec Ops: The Line, Nightfall, American Propaganda, Parachute Jump, something like that.
Yes.
It's on PSVR. We jump out of some planes. If that sounds like your kind of thing, then maybe maybe go check that out.
Okay. So, again, I'd like to thank you for checking out the site, and I'd like to thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. Good night.